Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. So in this video, we're going to build a custom model pop-up in Angular. So at the end of this video, you're going to learn how we can able to make a custom pop-up using Angular or any version. All right. So as of now, in this video, I'm following Angular 13 version, which is the latest version at the moment. Uh, it's not the latest version as of now. It's 18 already, but yeah, 17 is the most feasible as of now. So that's why I'm using 17 version, right? So you can see my screen over here. The open model. Okay, if I click on open model here, you get this custom model. So basically, you can call this as a pop-up or also a model. Anything is fine. So this is what a custom pop-up which we are going to create using Angular today in this video. Clear? So here we can close this with the button as well, and also we can close this with this cross mark as well. All right. Just click on this open model and you can close it. So here I'm going to create a custom model. So you can implement in your projects as per your requirements, and as per your requirements you can do the animation, design, color, everything, the title, everything you can change it as per your project requirements. All right. So I'm going to give a basic means how we can able to build the general like a starter skeleton. All right. So let's get started. All right. So the first step, what we are going to do means we are going to create a project structure, or we are going to create an Angular project. So, and also one more thing, you can download this code from the GitHub link as well. So I have given the source code link in the description. You can go check and hashtag download this source code. All right. So here, let's open a command prompt in this project directory. So this is a project directory where I'm giving all the Angular, the entire series which I'm going to make in the channel. So here we have the first one which has been done was the response to navbar, and second one is this one which is a custom model app. All right. So let's create. The first thing what I need to do is need to write a command. So ng means Angular and new ng new Angular new, you need to create a project. So I'm going to give the project name as custom model app. All right, custom model app. So you can like in your existing project itself you can create a model and everything. I'm just for reference, I'm just creating a project name like custom model app itself. So here the first thing is you'll get an option like to see the to select the style. So here I'm selecting the style as CSS. Just click on enter, and if you want server static site generation, if you want you can give yes, or if you don't want you can give as no. And so this will take some time to download all the structure, so we'll wait until this gets completed. All right. Well, as you see over here, the packages has been downloaded successfully. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna open this particular project in Visual Studio Code. So just type a cd custom model app, and what you're gonna do is, alright, just type as code space dot. So here we got a project open in Visual Studio Code over here. I'm gonna close this welcome page, and I'm gonna close this as well. All right. The first and foremost thing is, if you see over here, source app, we have all the like the files has been generated, and here you can see there is one file called spec.ts file, so it's not required, we can delete that. All right. So I'll go to command prompt again, and I'm gonna run a command to start our application. Ng serve is the command to start our application. So ng serve is the command to start our application work here. Ng serve, I have given the command. It will take some time to start our application. In the meantime, let me go to the Visual Studio Code work here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate, or I'm going to create a new component, and the component name which I'm going to give is model. All right. So here just click on at the top, click on over here terminal, and go for new terminal, and select command prompt over here. All right. So the command which you're going to give is ng g. Ng means Angular, g means generate a component name I'm going to give as model. All right. So just give as model over here. Okay, clear. So here if you see inside app folder, a new folder will be created in a while once this got generated. I mean, you can see a new folder has been created automatically, not automatically, basically we have run the command, that's why it has been created, or it won't create like magic. All right, cool. Let's delete this particular file. Spec.ts is not required, so let's open model.com.html. Let's open model.com.ts. So what we are going to do is just copy this particular name over here and open app.component.ts over here, app.component.ts. So what we're going to do is we need to see we have created model until unless you include this particular component. Sorry, why I'm saying again and model, it's a component. So component name is model. Okay. So here we have created a component until unless we include this particular component in app.component.ts, so you are not able to execute or run any of this code in the application. All right, so here in the import just give a comma and a space and paste it. You'll get an one error. So just hover your mouse over there, you can see an option quick fix. Just click on quick fix, add import. All right, so here we have the model component has been imported. So as of now we are getting one error. It's not an error, it's a warning. That's because model command has not been used within the project, so that's the reason. In some time we're going to use this. All right, so now come to model component HTML. So let's check whether our application got started or not. So the application got started. So if you go to a browser, okay, in the browser what we are going to do, will let me bring the browser over here. And by default your Angular project will be running at the port number localhost 4200 in local. Alright, so we got one error. So it's okay, no problem. That's related to the whatever the changes which we have done just now. So we need to include this particular model component. Okay, we'll start writing the code and basically it gets fixed automatically. Alright, cool. So let's create a model. So using Bootstrap itself, we'll create one model over here. Okay, div. If you see div class is equal to, I'm gonna type as model. See, since the file name was model, it automatically able to generate the entire code. Okay, so but I don't need just a model, I need a model overlay. Okay, model overlay which is there in the Bootstrap itself. Model overlay, see, LAY. All right, so if you click on tab, this will be auto generated. At this point we're getting one error over here. So we're gonna create a logic for this particular method. We're going to call a method over here which we're going to create in some time. All right, cool. So the next thing what we're going to do is, see, I'm gonna bring back. If you see over here, almost all the code has been can be generated automatically instead of typing. So I'll just click on tab button like this. Done. It has been created. We need to modify few more things one by one. So we'll modify. Okay. So I'm gonna give just a class as model content, because as per the CSS I'm just keeping it. All right, model content, and here class model header is fine. We need to include few more things. So we'll include one by one. All right, so first let's solve this error one by one. Okay, so first thing, close model. Okay, close model. So we'll come to model component.ts. I'll keep this model.ts at the right side so that as per the error we'll try to code one by one. Okay, so the first thing, the output close model. Basically what does close model does, it basically needs to close the pop-up or the model. So whatever the pop-up we get, that needs to be closed when clicking on it. All right, so yes, I'm gonna use a tag. There is a tag called at output, at output, and I'm gonna use close, close model is equal to new event emitter void, like this. So you'll get an error. Just hover your mouse and get an option quick fix, import that emitter. Okay, so next we'll write the logic for this close model. All right, so close model like this. So close model, what you want to do, you just need to close this model. So this dot close model dot emit. Okay, so basically event emit, event, it's an event, right? It's an event which helps us to close our model. Clear? Okay, so we're getting an error. Let me check. Duplicate identifier close model. All right, so since both are same name, so it's kind of confusing. What I'm going to do, the close model I'll just keep as close. Okay, I'll keep as close. Yeah, cool. Now we don't have the error. Next, so I'm gonna use one if statement over here. See, initially when you run your application, you want this model or that pop-up to be closed, right? Whenever we click on the button, then only it needs to be open, right? So initially we don't want that pop-up to be executed. So initially we'll keep that pop-up as closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna I'm gonna write one more input over here. Okay, at input is open. So is open the boolean. Okay, the boolean is equal to false. Basically, initial. Okay, let me hover a mouse and fix. Okay, good. Okay, so see, initially this model, I'm going to keep it false. Means I don't want that to pop up to be there. So when we load the application, it needs to be closed. Means we should not see that pop up. Whenever we click on the button, then only we should get that pop up. So that's the reason initially I'll keep this is open false. So we'll keep a condition over here, angular condition over here. So how to write an angular condition? So to write angular condition, what you can do is star ng means angular if is equal to is open. Okay, is open. So if this condition gets false, see, if the condition is false, obviously this entire thing won't get executed. If the condition is true, then this is going to be executed. All right, cool. Now we have the second error over here, the title. So we're gonna write the title over here. So how to write a title over here? So title is a value which needs to be present over here. So it's kind of input. Okay. So we're gonna use an input tag over here. Again, input like this, input title as per the name title, and it's of type string. And inside this, I'm gonna give a custom title. I'm gonna give as model title. So you can give as per your convenience. So the model title over here. Okay. So this is what I'm giving right now. Okay, cool. So the next thing what we have is we have this close model error. Okay, so basically we are already have this method at close. We want to use this. Okay, clear, done. So now we'll check. Do we have any error? Reload page, reload. Okay, okay. So let's check on about the do we have any error? Okay. So initially when you start our application, this is how your project look like. So all this entire code or the whatever the content you're seeing over here, this everything is present in app.component.html. Okay, app.component.html. So I'll go till the bottom and I'm gonna remove all the code. Control A and also that's also fine. So if you go to our browser again, so we have removed all the content. So let the application reloads automatically. And if you see the loading, it's taking time to load. Okay, let it be. So we'll come back to this in some time. Okay. So all the code is done over here. I need to do few more modification in the HTML. Okay. So open, close, done, and the model content. So I'm going to give the CSS over here, model end. And for the button as well, I need to have some custom CSS. So class is equal to close button. Okay. So you can custom with the CSS by using this class CSS selector class. Okay. Next. Next we have model and ng content over here. Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna include one more footer over here. Okay. First let's check the output how it's gonna look like. So and later we'll modify a few more things. Okay. Cool. So now the next thing what we need to do means let's open app.component.html. Okay. So whatever the content you want to see, you need to include this particular model in app.component.html. Until unless you include it, you are not able to execute that app.model.component. Okay. So yes. So now what we are going to do, the first thing I'm gonna create. Okay, let's see whether the application has been loaded or not. It's still loading. Okay, let it be on this tab. And all right, so let's create a button. Okay, button, button, click. Or I'll do one thing. I'll stop the application. I'll try to execute it again. Okay, so that we'll get the output. Button click is equal to open model. Okay, so whenever we click the button, then only we should get that pop-up. So that's the reason open model. I'm creating a button over here. Yeah, so it is getting an error. The reason because we need to write the logic. We need to write the logic in app.common.ts. Okay, so open model. All right, so let's write the logic for this. Title some actually this is not required title because we have already included there, so let me remove. Okay, let it be, let's keep it. Okay, we'll see that. So open model, the method. Okay, so all right, so before that we need to create a variable, right? Both. So we need to, when you want to open or when you want to close, we need to create a variable for this to open or close. So initially we need to keep that model to be closed. So is model is equal to false, and I'm going to specify the type as well, boolean, so it will be a best practice. Okay, okay, good. Now this dot is model is equal to true. So when you want to open, you want to make it as true, or when you want to close, you just close model to be false when you want to use this. All right, cool. Okay, close model. All right. So now I'll come to this model.component.html. So here I specified the close, right? Instead of close, I'm going to keep it as model. Uh, Let it be. Let's keep this and we'll test it and we'll see if that doesn't work. We'll change it again later. All right. So we have component.html and I hope application has been started. You see why it is okay. I'll do one thing. Let me stop the application. I'm not sure where this code is being. All right. So let's start the application here itself. So okay, I hope autosave is enabled. Yeah, autosave is enabled. App.com.html, all the code has been removed. So we need to see only the button. That's all. So I guess now we should. Oh yeah. So here we have. Okay. Open model. So here the button has been created. All right. So the button has been created. All right. So we need to write few more code. All right. So now come to mod.component.css over here. And here it's a basic CSS I have included, and I have given this particular code in the description for the source code, so you can check that. So basically if you see model overlay, so mod overlay over here, so I have included few CSS for this model content and the close button as well. So how should the CSS should be, so I have included some basic background, see background none, border none, just give a small cursor pointer everything. So when you I'll show this. Okay, so just added simple CSS and you can do the CSS or the styling as per your convenience or as per your project requirements. All right, so let me come to the application, open model. Okay, yeah, so now let's do few more model. I'm gonna close all the files one by one and I'm gonna check one by one file. So model.com.html. Okay, so here what are the things which we need to do is, all right, so everything is set over here. So let's come to app.com.html where we need to get our actual pop-up. We need to include this model content, right? Until unless we include this in our app.com.html, so we are not able to execute this particular model. So that's the reason when we click on this open model, we are not able to see that. See, we have written all the logic, but why it's not working? So that's because we have not included this particular component in app.com.html. So let's include that one by one. All right, cool. Now how to include it? So if you come to app dot or model.com.ts, if you see the selector name is app model, right? The selector name. So basically this is a selector. So this particular name represents the entire component of a model. So it's like creating a tag like this. App model is open. Okay, like this. So it has been auto generated. So I'm going to utilize that and I'll modify as per my requirement. So is open, so it's gonna be is model open. Okay, is model open. All right, so I'm going to add a title as well for this. Say in square braces, title, and title I'm going to give as, say, my, or my custom, my custom model or pop-up. Okay, pop-up. Cool. Now this one needs to be a closed model, right? So closed model, cut this, paste it, double quote. All right. So if you remember, we have written open close model as well over here. Okay, open model and close model. So closed one, closed model, and here we have open model. All right. So now here we have added some content. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna let's say I'm gonna keep this as a simple paragraph which says this is the content of the model or pop-up. Okay, so we're gonna close this app.model.tag over here like this. Now if you go to a browser, refresh and open model. Okay, so still it's not working. Let's check, is there any error? Check those errors as well. So in the console, okay, oh, cannot bind if I would have all right. So there are a few more checks we need to do. So let's check that. All right, so app.com.html, everything. Oh wait, all right, if you see, all the method has been in yellow color, but this particular method is not working properly. That's the reason you're unable to open. The reason because of this extra space. All right, so now since here it was not working, reason because I just saw in the logs it says ng if is open. I mean, there's an error. So the reason because if you want to use the if statements and Angular, we need to use something called common component. All right. So let's open app.component.ts. Since we are not using the router thing, so we're gonna delete or we're gonna remove this router and we're gonna include the common model. So let's remove this particular and we're gonna add common model which is going to help for our all the if statements. So this for your mouse prefix and need to do, oh just a second, spelling mistake, common model. So for your mouse prefix and import that particular statement. So this is the one place, and second, go to model.com.html, sorry, model.com.ts. Here also you need to include that particular imports as well. Until unless you include it, it's not going to work. All right, so common model. Okay, common model. It's when it's been imported properly. All right, so now if you see, we don't see that warning or the error in the if statement. So if you now go to a browser, the application has been loaded. When you click on open model, you can able to see your pop-up like this, my custom model. This is the content of the model. So let's close this. If you click on the model again, you can able to see this pop-up. All right, so what I'll do, I'm going to create one simple button over here to close this as well instead of this. Okay, I mean there are two ways. So sometimes we need the uh, we want to close the pop-up like this, or sometimes you need a button. So let's add a small simple button board, right? So let's go back to our code again, model component.html. So here after ng content over here, let's create one more div. Okay, we're going to include one button over here. Okay, so if you see class model footer button, as there's a code been already present, so it's trying to generate. So let's generate it automatically. Okay, just click a tab button, it's generated. Okay, so click close. All right, so it's been generated automatically. So now we'll go to our browser again, refresh the page. If you want, you can open model. Now if you see, the button is so big, right? So what I'll do, I'll remove this. Okay, let me remove this particular class. Okay, so now I'll go to our browser, open model. If you see, we can see the button properly. So my custom model, you can close in this way as well, and you can close in this way as well. All right, so I hope you learned how to create your custom pop-up or custom model in Angular 8s or the 17th version of Angular. All right, so if you did learn this, and please do like this video, and if you're new to our channel, please do subscribe. And there are a lot of videos coming up like microservices, Spring Boot, Java, Angular, React, blockchain. So all lot of more contents are coming in this channel, so please do subscribe and be the part of learning mighty community. All right, so let's meet you in our next video. Until then, take care, goodbye, bye bye.